In the unfolding tale, Myung's world is forever altered when a colossal goblin warrior appears before him. Shocked and outnumbered, he valiantly attempts to block the goblin's ferocious assault, wielding his swords with unwavering determination. Yet, the overwhelming force of the attack sends Myung hurtling into a nearby wall. Astonishingly, the goblin warrior ceases its aggression and nonchalantly departs, leaving Myung dazed and bruised. Enter Nangung, a seasoned warrior who comes to Myung's aid. Nangung provides solace, confirming that Myung's bones remain unbroken and his injuries, though severe, are not life-threatening. Myung, his curiosity piqued, questions the nature of the monstrous adversary and why it abruptly withdrew from the confrontation. Nangung's response unveils a chilling truth. The goblin warrior's sinister destination is the sacred shrine, constructed to appease the malevolent goblin lord. The goblin's nefarious scheme involves establishing the memorial tower as their base, a perilous prospect that would lead to an alarming rise in their numbers. Myung, his disbelief palpable, probes Nangung for the source of this cryptic knowledge. Intriguingly, Nangung reveals his unconventional source of wisdom. He is living his second life. Impressed by the seasoned warrior's resilience, Myung acknowledges that this undertaking may seem tedious given his prior experience. Eager to expedite their mission, Myung urges a swift resolution. Nevertheless, Nangung counsels patience, emphasizing that vanquishing the goblin warrior is merely a prelude. To foil the goblin's grand design, they must confront the true puppet master, the goblin lord. Concealing themselves behind a protective barricade, Myung and Nangung finally lay eyes on the menacing goblin warrior. Myung, his thoughts drawn to Soman's safety, inquires if she remains unharmed. Nangung reassures Myung, revealing that he has placed her into a deep slumber and intends to summon spirit soldiers to safeguard her well-being. With a sense of foreboding, Nangung marshals the spectral army, offering Myung cryptic glimpses of the mysteries yet to unfold. With a daring maneuver, Nangung hurls a dagger at the goblin warrior, piercing its eye and shattering its equilibrium. Seizing the opportunity, Nangung wields needles charged with a crimson aura, plunging them deep into the goblin's hand. At his command, Myung catapults through the air, blade in hand, and attempts to decapitate the towering foe. To their astonishment, the blade's edge fails to penetrate the goblin's reinforced neck. Myung, confounded by this supernatural fortitude, seeks an explanation for the deadly poison dart's origin. Nangung discloses their provenance, the underground marketplace of Olji Street. With a growing sense of urgency, Nangung impresses upon Myung the need for a swift dispatch of the goblin warrior to prevent further interference by its kin. As the goblin charges, sword swinging menacingly, Myung and Nangung adroitly evade its strikes. In response, Nangung hurls more poison darts, which find their mark in the goblin's chest, inducing an excruciating paralysis. Seizing the opportune moment, Myung brings his blade down in a single stroke, vanquishing the colossal adversary. Myung, drained and aching from the strenuous battle, reflects on the incredible resilience of the goblin's bone structure. Nangung, however, warns Myung against lowering his guard, emphasizing the impending confrontation with the goblin lord. As the moment arrives, a disquieting revelation surfaces. The goblin lord is conspicuously absent. Just as the goblin lord prepares to pounce upon Myung from behind, Nangung's frantic cry resonates through the tumultuous battlefield. In the nick of time, a spirit soldier materializes to shield Myung before vanishing into nothingness. Nangung surmises the ephemeral nature of the spirit soldiers is due to their limited growth potential. An urgent notification informs them that only 2 summoned spirit soldiers remain. Undaunted, Myung charges towards the menacing goblin, seeking to deliver a fatal blow. Yet the cunning goblin deploys a protective shield to fend off Myung's assault and forcefully propels him into a solid wall. Bewildered by this supernatural turn of events, Myung turns to Nangung for guidance, his voice tinged with desperation. Nangung implores Myung to persist, to overcome the seemingly insurmountable goblins. Drawing a curious sword, Nangung instructs Myung to wield it and place his trust in its enigmatic power. Baffled, Myung seeks clarification, prompting Nangung to disclose the sword's cursed nature. It harbors a sentient soul bound to it. Moreover, Nangung underscores the criticality of not relinquishing the weapon under any circumstances. A notification interjects, indicating that the Eye of the Soul has advanced to level 2. Embracing the mysterious sword, Myung becomes cloaked in a crimson aura, astonishing the goblins with his newfound powers. As the goblins charge with unrelenting force, Nangung unveils a formidable artifact, the Demon Hunter's Silver Blade, a first-ranked magical implement. With uncanny precision, he hurls it at the goblins, triggering a cataclysmic explosion that decimates their ranks. With time slipping away, Nangung urges Myung to press on. The crimson aura now envelops Myung, a sign of a successful communion with the executioner's soul. With unparalleled agility, Myung soars into the sky, propelled by the crimson aura, and delivers a devastating strike that fells the Goblin Lord with a single resounding blow. A notification emerges declaring the Goblin Lord's demise. The consequences of this climactic victory are profound. A reward notification promises gratuities to all participants within a 150-meter radius, with special recognition for Myung as the pivotal influencer. Treasure chests materialize before him, hinting at untold riches. Myung, bewildered by this sudden windfall, turns to Namgung for insight. Namgung elucidates that the loot is Myung's alone to claim, delineating the bounteous rewards, including the Goblin Lord's ornament, the Goblin Lord's favorite, and the bracelet of the Goblin Lord. Myung contemplates sharing some of the riches with Namgung, but the seasoned warrior declines the offer. Among the riches, a particular item captures Namgung's attention, the Goblin Lord's heart. This rare artifact resonates with the Goblin Lord's magic, bestowing the ability to wield magic upon consumption. Magic users would also experience a substantial boost in their mana reserves. Myung recognizes the value of this item, but humbly acknowledging their lack of magical prowess, defers to Namgung's counsel. The seasoned warrior envisions selling the artifact for a princely sum when the second Hell Gate opens. However, an unexpected complication arises when Namgung attempts to stow the heart in his pocket. A notification prompts him to explore potential recipients, revealing a novel facet of this fantastical realm. Despite their shared lack of magical talent, a suitable candidate is pinpointed, and the heart, encased in a cerulean aura, hurtles through the air to Namgung's slumbering daughter, Soman. A notification elucidates the incredible significance of this transfer. Soman's magical potential is classified as legend grade, a revelation that leaves Namgung profoundly astonished. Namgung is left reeling, his disbelief palpable as he comes to terms with the revelation of his daughter Soman's remarkable magical disposition. The idea of such an extraordinary gift for magic leaves him astounded, but it is a bittersweet recognition. He acknowledges that Soman's unparalleled magical potential, classified as legendary grade, comes with an immense burden. The weight of her destiny is not lost on Namgung, for he knows that great power inevitably demands great sacrifices. Myung, observing Namgung's internal struggle, offers a choice. He suggests that Namgung has the option to withhold awakening Soman's magic, a path that would shield her from the brutal realities of battling against formidable monsters. Myung further implores that even amidst a world sliding into chaos and darkness, the children must preserve their innocence and happiness, surpassing the trials of the adults who fight to protect them. Just as they engage in this solemn deliberation, Soman awakens, her eyes falling upon both Namgung and Myung. Myung, with a warm smile, notes her growth since their last encounter and playfully suggests a ride on an airplane. However, Soman, keen to assert her maturity, dismisses the notion, instead focusing on the grim situation unfolding on Earth. She is horrified by the destruction that surrounds her, and her shock is evident. She demands an explanation from her father, wondering why he didn't fulfill his promise that they would face these challenges together. Namgung, filled with remorse, offers a heartfelt apology to his daughter. In the midst of this emotionally charged moment, a distressed child approaches Soman, seeking her help and solace. The young boy reveals that his mother fell victim to the monstrous terrors that now haunt their world. Tears stream down his face as Soman tenderly embraces him, seeking to offer whatever comfort she can. Myung, watching Soman's remarkable compassion, remarks on her unexpected bravery for someone her age. Namgung, however, attributes her courage to her mother rather than himself, revealing a deep sense of inadequacy and recounting a time when fear overcame him. Myung interjects, asserting that a father's protective instincts often dictate such actions. Soman persists, pleading with her father to let the young boy accompany them. However, Namgung, rationalizing that the shelters during the impending Great War will provide greater safety, declines her request. Soman challenges his decision, reminding him that the young boy is alone in this perilous world. Namgung remains resolute, stating that the boy will be better off in a shelter. Soman recalls a painful past when her mother departed, accusing her father of not standing by her side during that trying time. Namgung is taken aback by this revelation, visibly shocked by his daughter's perception of his actions. Suddenly, a mysterious figure named Jor enters through a portal, catching Namgung and the others by surprise. Jor comments on Namgung's peculiar position, describing him as a guy who handles death while walking on the path of life. Despite his seemingly jovial demeanor, Jor notes that the situation has taken a perplexing turn, expressing his surprise at their successful takedown of the Goblin Lord. He explains that the citadel construction should have been completed by midnight, with goblins swarming the city as part of a preconceived plan. However, something has gone terribly awry, leaving Namgung and his allies bewildered. Namgung, struggling to grasp the implications of Jor's words, questions the logic behind the authorities' objections to his utilization of patriotic souls and the powers of ancient gods and heroes. Jor reveals that the authorities perceive this as an imbalance, insisting that the events were meant to unfold during the carnival. He further elaborates on their stance, emphasizing the critical importance of maintaining a sense of equilibrium and adherence to the rules. Namgung's frustration boils over, and he vehemently asserts his authority and status in this unique realm. He refuses to be lectured on rules by someone of Jor's stature. Jor, evidently anticipating this response, offers a compromise, a life for a life. Since Namgung has already absorbed several spirits, Jor asserts that an equivalent life must be forfeited to restore balance. He points ominously towards the young boy, suggesting that his life should be the price to pay. The proposition sparks a heated debate, with Jor attempting to rationalize the sacrifice. Somin, however, cannot abide by the callousness of such a proposition. In an act of defiance, she delivers a powerful punch to Jor's face, challenging his assertion that a life should be taken. Her fiery words degrade Jor's inhumane suggestion and brand him a reptile. In a swift and brutal retaliation, Jor unleashes a devastating attack, sending Somin hurtling into a wall. In her defense, both Namgung and Myung step forward, but they too become ensnared in Jor's clutches. With a malevolent grin, Jor underscores his dominance and, in a chilling ultimatum, asks Namgung to make an unthinkable choice, to decide whose life should be forfeit, the young boy's, Somin's, or Myung's. Namgung, his heart heavy with the impossible decision he is forced to make, implores Jor to halt this madness. In the midst of this harrowing confrontation, a miraculous event transpires. The heart of the Goblin Lord, once a focal point of their conflict, plummets to the ground and is inexplicably absorbed by Somin. Jor watches in fascination as Somin's magical transformation unfolds before his eyes. A notification appears, indicating that a fragile soul is comforting Somin. The spirits of her mother manifest behind her, contributing to her awakening. Her magical traits undergo a profound transformation, with her left eye taking on a striking crimson hue. Her magic is revealed to be perception magic, a revelation that shocks Namgung to his core. In an astonishing display of her newfound power, Somin conjures a colossal sphere of mana and hurls it directly at Jor. Jor effortlessly absorbs the immense mana unleashed in her attack, demonstrating a formidable control over the mystical arts. He marvels at Somin's utilization of mythical-level magic and acknowledges that he has encountered someone even more intriguing than himself. However, Somin's magical prowess takes its toll, and she collapses, overwhelmed by the staggering power she has harnessed. Jor discerns that perception magic exacts a substantial drain on one's mana reserves, especially for a young child like Somin, whose awakened abilities are still in their infancy. Namgung, watching in growing concern, vehemently protests as Jor attempts to use his magic on Somin. He warns Jor not to touch his daughter, pledging severe consequences if any harm befalls her. Jor reassures Namgung that he has no intentions of harming Somin and insists that he is merely trying to help. As he employs his magic to assist her, Jor cryptically hints that Somin has attracted the interest of the higher beings. This attention from the higher phases might ultimately lead to the resolution of their ongoing dispute. Namgung cradles his unconscious daughter, appreciative of the possible safeguard that has been cast over their predicament. Jor imparts a final piece of advice, instructing Namgung to ensure Somin's protection from the high beings who covet her. Namgung, in a bold move, suggests that Jor should reciprocate the protection. Jor responds by tossing a red sphere toward Namgung, a valuable item meant to be obtained only after the Goblin Castle's completion. He reveals that this item was originally intended as a reward for Namgung at the next carnival, but Jor seized it from the higher beings to deliver it to him personally. Jor emphasizes his instrumental role as Namgung's contracted god and issues a warning. As he prepares to depart, Jor assures Namgung that he will continue to watch over him, emphasizing that his survival is crucial for the fulfillment of their shared goals. Somin eventually awakens, finding herself in a car. Myung informs her that she had succumbed to mana overload and momentarily lost consciousness. Somin, filled with curiosity, inquires about the fate of the boy they rescued. Myung reassures her, revealing that the boy's father, Hosung, has been safely taken to the Daejeon shelter. Somin, agitated by this decision, begins to pick at her father's hair while questioning their course of action. Namgung explains the rationale behind their choice, stating that the boy would be more secure in the shelter due to the comprehensive defense measures implemented by Jin Sugyuk. Jin Sugyuk, known to Namgung from his previous life, is regarded as a trustworthy individual, and thus they need not worry about Hosung's safety. Intrigued, Somin inquires about their destination. Namgung reveals that they are headed to Seoul. He explains that a new dungeon has opened following the closure of the first Hell Door, and it is imperative that they obtain the dungeon's reward to avert an even more catastrophic disaster. Myung, seeking clarification, asks Namgung if he is considered a prophet, a person chosen by higher beings. Namgung confirms this and emphasizes the need for them to grow stronger, as they continue their journey through the nighttime roads. While en route, they receive disconcerting news via the car radio about a traffic blockade on the Paju Expressway. Myung contemplates their alternate route when an unexpected impact strikes the car's front mirror, forcing them to halt. Nangung, suspecting the presence of leftover goblins, steps out of the car, and the impending danger becomes evident as a goblin prepares to attack him from behind. Before it can strike, an unknown archer takes down the goblin with a well-aimed arrow. The group discovers a young boy with a bow and arrows, and Nangung cautiously approaches him, urging him to lower his weapon before initiating a conversation. The boy, Jun Daeongin, admits to being the archer who neutralized the goblins, impressing Myung with his skill in targeting vital points at midnight. Nangung thinks an ordinary citizen who killed 5 monsters using just one bow and someone as talented as this boy. Nangung thinks he might have encountered him in his previous life, and asks the four about his name. The boy's name is Jun Daeongin. Myung asked Jun what is he doing here, as everyone was told to stay at home by broadcast. Jun tells him he need to go to Seoul as his father is in the hospital there and he can't get in contact with them at all. Namyeon now understand the reason why he didn't meet this kid in his previous life, as a talented magician like his daughter Somin can't even survive. Stove tells the boy to go home as he won't be able to journey using that bike, he will die definitely. Jun tells them to please let him ride with them till Seoul, and he makes sure to pay them back as well. Nangung finds it's interesting now, as the boy Jun gives them a crystal that he got by killing the goblins. Myung takes the stone from Kid's hand, but Nangung thinks something wrong, as this stone should not be appearing now. The stone is a rune that bolsters one's stats, a prized item in a carnival where runes are rare. Jun inquires about the stone's rarity, leading Nangung to question its origins. Jun discloses that he obtained the stone from the goblins. There are 2 types of strength that a human gains in the carnival. First one is nature, and the second one is stats. Nature are special talents that are expressed from birth, and on the other hand stats are a power that anyone can acquire through raising them. These runes are a unique item that enhance these stats. Naturally, runes are highly sought after, but the odds of obtaining one from a monster are dismal, and thinks there is a chance that they could drop from a goblin. John asked Nangung is this stone is rare. Then suddenly Nangung realized which maybe this wasn't by luck, and he asked Jun from where did he learn archery. Jun tells him that his father is a former national representative that taught him, although he is currently bedridden due to an accident. Jun tells his father's name is Tiho. Nangung thinks of course he is the son of the athlete Jun Tiho, as in the previous life Tiho was a rune master and possessing an exceeding rare nature, shared only with Annalian. Then clans worldwide vied to recruit him, but Teo had been in coma for 7 years following an accident, and as everyone clamored to awaken him, Saintest Arrow, one of the 8 martial stars, spent a lot of money to use an elixir. However, despite her title, she did sinister deeds behind the scenes, like killing Taho for refusing a clan's offer. But this time things will be different cause of Nangung. Myung asks Nangung should they head to the hospital. Nangung tells him before that they need to stop somewhere first. Jun gets mad and tells Namgung he agreed to take him to his father, as anything could happen to him, and his daughter is with him as well. Nangung tells them going they will not change a thing, as given the goblin situation, police, firefighters, and even the military have been deployed across Korea in such times. They will prioritize stabilizing medical facilities, which means that the hospital would be a safer place than roads like this, and it's better for them to gather heads as going there won't make a difference. Jun asked Nangung what does he means by that. He tells him they can revive their father using an elixir. Jun tells them the elixir cost around 400,000 heads, and there is nowhere else to amass to get that amount quickly. Myung tells him that he is a lucky one, as right now they are on their way to a dungeon. Someone tells Jun that it's her dad's second life, so he knows what best for them. Jun still doesn't believe them and asks them even if they gather all the heads where will they get the elixir from. Namgung tells him he will find out soon. While still on the road, the group stumbles upon a public announcement that emanates from a giant beam of mana that shoots down from the sky, showering the landscape in a vivid display. The manifestation of a demon at the epicenter of the event sends shockwaves through the gathered crowd. The demon, wielding powerful magic, addresses the terrified onlookers, conveying an imperative message. The demon proclaims that the phases will extend a unique opportunity to the audience of the carnival, a chance for the individuals to awaken to their true potential. The sudden appearance of this daunting figure sends the masses into a frenzy, prompting chaotic, panicked attempts to flee the scene. The demon employs his magic to obliterate cars and individuals on his side of the highway, exacerbating the chaos, and tells the people that all the necessary information will automatically implanted in their minds, so there is no need for detailed information, but just for formality he will make an announcement. Just as he was about to tell people the announcement, a car honks at him, which is none other than Nangung. The demon is shocked to see Nangung here. Myung wonders if this is the demon Nangung had previously mentioned. The demon, seemingly perturbed by Myung's comment comparing him to a mere goblin, is approached by Ju Ryu. Jiuryu requests the demon to open up and reveal the contents of his bundle and heart pouch. The demon Jiuryu responds that he and Namgung have yet to formalize a contract, prompting an exchange between the two regarding the request for an elixir. The group, situated within their car, maintains a keen eye on the unfolding events. In a candid exchange, Jiuryu requests that Namgung spare his dignity, considering the public nature of the confrontation. Here at the car, John is wondering what is Namgung talking about with the demon. Myung tells him not to overthink, as this is Namgung's second life. He knows what he is doing. After that, Namgung comes back. Someone asks him what took him so long. Namgung tells her he spent his allowance to buy some survival items, as they need to survive this dungeon.